Scott Robertson here, Robertson Drum School. This is going out to Scottish pipe band drummers who are actively playing in solo competitions at the Highland Games. You may have experienced a day where you've played in a small class, maybe 3 people, and you had practiced hard, you were well prepared, the performance went well. Even your peers tell you how well they thought you played, and yet you came in 3rd place. It can be tough not to see that only as last place. When it happens, it's natural to ask yourself, what did I do wrong? When you look at your adjudication sheets and see that it's full of complimentary comments with praise for the performance, the question becomes even more frustrating. Today, I want to put you in the judge's chair in front of a class of 3 equitable performances, all of whom play well. This scenario can occur in any grade. I will play you 3 brief examples of a horn, pipe, and jig. After I play them, you be the judge. Remember, you're not just picking a winner, you're deciding who's going home empty-handed after a good performance. So, competitor number 1, playing Dr. MacInnes' Fancy and Athol Highlanders. 1, 2. Competitor number 2, playing Jimmy Tweedie's Sealegs and Troy's Wedding. 1, 2. Competitor number 3, playing Stumbling Through the Gray Area and Donald, Willie, and His Dog. 1, 2. Okay, so who do you have 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and why? You heard 2 rounded hornpipes and 1 dot and cut hornpipe. Do you have a personal preference? Number 3 played a 9/8 jig instead of a 6/8 jig. Does that make a difference? Did you notice that competitor number 2 had more of a snap on the end of the roll-off, where number 1 and 3 had a finishing tap that was the same volume as the roll? Is one of those ways wrong, or do you have a personal preference of one over the other? Did you notice that number 3 played a narrower range of dynamics? Is this a flaw, or is it a stylistic choice? Do you have a preference for a greater range of dynamics? Is it fair to weigh in your own personal musical preferences rather than basing your decision solely on how well each player executed their musical intentions. Remember, do not replay any of the examples. Judges hear each performance once. If you like, hit the pause button and consider your results, and when you come back, I'll give you my thoughts. I'm going to start with competitor number 3. As stated, this performance had a narrower range of dynamics, but I'm not convinced that that was intended. I was seeing a lot of difference in stick heights without the corresponding differences in volumes, so there should be more difference in sound. This suggests to me that this player is physically a little bit tight. I would give the player good comments for the quality of the attack. The settings are good. The tempos were well set. The break was good. The execution was very clean. But I think some work on relaxing hand technique is in order. This would be my 3rd place, but it would come with praise for a solid performance that's worthy of the class. Number 1 and number 2 were both solid, with no problem delivering both volume and lightness of touch. The deciding factor for me, I felt that number 1 played all of the flams and the accents at one dynamic level, fortissimo, and then everything else in between was piano. Good power, good control, but not enough of the dynamic middle ground. For example, right, where I felt that overall competitor number 2 just had the dynamics more refined. So number 2 is getting 1st place from me. Number 1 is getting 2nd place, and number 3 is 3rd place. Above all, in this presentation, I would like everyone watching to avoid thinking that 1st place is the default position, and for every place under that there is a definable error in the performance. It's simply counterproductive to think that if you get 2nd place, you must have done one thing wrong, and if you got 3rd place, you must have done at least 2 things wrong, and the judge must be asleep at the wheel if those errors are not clearly articulated on the sheet. The best measure of your performance is your own evaluation based on your past performance. The important question to ask yourself is, am I improving? If the answer is yes, keep playing. And remember, the more you play, the more judges you'll play in front of, and different judges net different results for the same class. Links for You Be the Judge Part 1 and 2 can be found in the description. If you found this useful, hit the thumbs up or leave me a comment. Keep practicing.